Greetings, Earthlings, Wisdom Keepers, Wisdom Seekers. Welcome back to Wisdom Drops, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. My name is Tanya, and today we are discussing the new moon in Aquarius for you water signs. So if you are a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancer, ascendant, sun, or moon, because you should read for all three, just saying, then this video is for you. You're going to know by the end of this, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, what you can really expect for your area of life over the next month since this event is taking place. Really, y'all, it's 6 weeks of influence because a full moon takes 4 weeks till there's another full moon, and a new moon takes 4 weeks until there's another new moon. And in between there's like a 2-week phase of like growing or waxing and waning on top of it. So it's really like a 6-week kind of like realm of influence. Needless to say, this is your new moon in Aquarius video, and we're going to jump into the details and show the screen in just a minute. And before we do, if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're a long timer, hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate everybody who chooses to like this video so much because it helps other people get this information for free, and it helps us grow our groovy little community of astrology savvy cats here on the interwebs. If you want to recommend a video water sign, you can for this channel. I will likely possibly do it depending on my capacity or level of interest. But hey, please do put a video request down below. If not, you can put a link or not a link, you can put a comment regarding like anything you learned, anything that's interesting, whatever you're going through in your life that is relevant. My Hedenbergite, you see this? I love this groovy little crystal. I'm like vibing with it today, water signs. Isn't it gorgeous? So soothing, right? Anyway, you're welcome to involve yourself accordingly. But now that we've went through that, and the welcome to subscribe, because if you are new, you can join us and these videos are free. Let us jump in. So let's start with Cancers. Cancer, you can see this new moon is happening in your 8th house. And so if you did not already see Cancer, the video I already did on Aquarius new moon energy in general, please do check it out. It will help you learn more about how this is going to impact you, okay? But this is a new beginning when it comes to other people's resources, any debts you have, Cancer, any loans you might have out, any loan you might be considering giving somebody, any investment that you might have already made or thinking of making, Cancer. If you're thinking of making a serious investment to bring yourself a lot of joy, and it's in alignment with the new era of where we're entering into with the age of Aquarius, this is honestly not a bad time to be creating those projects, or at least putting in the mental thought and planning, Mercury retrograde, to create said projects. Maybe you wait to invest, right? But this is the thought birth tank, because that Mercury retrograde is there helping you think deeply. It's reflective, right? Mercury's retrograding. I just did a video on that too recently. So it's more thinking about whatever this 8th house symbolizes for you. So you're thinking more about this stuff. How do you invest? How do you reap karma from previous investments, for better or for worse? How do you manage other people's resources, Cancer? If you are in that type of world where you manage people's resources, how do you do that? How do you go about that? You know what I mean? So this is going to be something where you're going to be thinking more about that, and also starting something. And again, just the thought process might be what you start. And 2 weeks from this moment in time, when we have another full moon, that's when maybe you're going to have, a little different perspective when that comes over here to Virgo. And maybe that's when you'll actually start like seeing some of those results, or putting some of that into action. Or maybe not, and you're just really waiting out on Mercury retrograde to go direct. That's cool too. But what I'm trying to tell you, Cancer, is there's a new beautiful benefic beginning on offer for you, because this Jupiter-Venus conjunction is not kidding around. It's present, and it's squaring Mars. So it's actually asking you, what actions can you take, Cancer, to support this 8th house action that we just discussed? So this is from your 11th house. So it's asking you, how do you negotiate your networks to engage these new beginnings? And your opportunity, like your golden opportunity on offer, is related to building your dreams, because the apex of this little V sextile is in your dream house, 9th house, your happy house, I should say. And Neptune in Pisces is a very dreamy energy. So it has this like real happiness result on offer. I would suggest if you're a Cancer and you have a brilliant idea right now and you know it's something you need to do with your networks to build your future for all the things I've been talking about in this video so far, it's time. This is your sign. Go. Okay. Thanks, Cancer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and all that beautiful jazz. Now, as we transition, let us go into Scorpio. We're just going to cruise on forward till we get over to you, Scorpio, so you can see yourself on the ascendant as if it really was you right there. That's good. We'll put you as a 4-degree Scorpio. Are you a 4-degree Scorpio? Let me know in the comment down below. All right. So Scorpio, this is going to be your forecast. Now, this is a different energy. Look at this. This new beginning on offer for you, Scorpio. It's going to be, whoa, did I just zoom ahead so much? What just happened? I'm sorry, y'all. That was such a big mess up. How did I do this? Oh, it changed on me. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't the same chart. It totally changed on me. I'm sorry, Scorpio. I might have been caught on 24 hours. My increment was all funny. I should have looked at where that was too. Because I'm like a crazy astrologer who just, I don't even look up the time. I'm just like, okay, let's fast forward till it gets to the right time. You can see we're honing in on it now. 22 and 23. It is what it is. If you're still with me, you're zooming ahead, good for you, because you're in for a good astrology reading. I have no doubts. Okay, groovy. This is much good enough. Let's say 2:04 p.m. so I can remember it for next time. So now we need to actually get ahead where you're on here, though. Scorpios, thank you for your patience. So bad. I'm going to be better about that next time, Scorpio. Okay, you are a 13-degree Scorpio. Let's see what your actual degree is, though, in the comments. Okay, so this is still a very different energy was what I was trying to communicate, and I'm just putting you on the ascendant, so there's going to be more of like a difference here in the degrees, but it's the same. I'm reading for the same moment that we were just at, okay, when you saw it was exact at the very beginning. So this is a new beginning in your home and in your roots, where you come from, Scorpio. If you are a Scorpio, ascendant, sun, or moon, then this is going to be a new beginning in terms of like, where did you come from? Where are your real roots in terms of this lifetime? Like, where did you grow up? Where is it that you came from as a child? What was home from the earliest years you can remember? What was home? Okay. Where was home? What did home feel like? Who was there at home? All of these questions, if you are a Scorpio, ascendant, sun, or moon, these are questions that you're going to be thinking about deeper than like ever. And I'm exaggerating, but not, because you know how long it's been since all these planets have been here in Aquarius? It's been since the 60s, y'all, the 1960s. It's been a minute since we've had this little party in your 4th house. Some of y'all weren't even alive then, you feel. So this is really, in some senses, the first time for some of us Scorpio beings to even have this opportunity to experience not only all these planets in our 4th house, but Mercury retrograde there. So you, Scorpio, are thinking so much more deeply about this 4th house experience of where you grew up. You're questioning everything related to where you grew up, how you grew up, what was that like? You're really questioning your roots. You're like, why are my roots the way they are? Why was that person the way they were? What does that really mean for my life? Okay. You're asking all those questions now, Scorpio. This is part of a process under this new moon. And the beginning on offer is joyous and abundant because Venus and Jupiter are conjunct. When this moon perfects, this is actually a perfect conjunction between Jupiter and Venus. So it's really profound what joyous, kind of like classically joyous, right? Jupiter and Venus results and benefits can come to you at this time, okay? That's for you, Scorpio. You got the good stuff on offer. You got the zhuzh available. You got the force with you in terms of what? In terms of changing your psychology around how you grew up, where you grew up, what the people were like in that environment. You have probably once of a lifetime opportunity to really reflect deeply over that construct of fourth house, of your roots, of what your foundational home growing up was to you, to really reflect over it and change it with a new beginning. So you have a beginning of psychological twists in your foundation. And from this change in your foundation that is psychological in nature, Scorpio, it's almost like you got this opportunity to really crystallize and put forward something of more meaning and of a better caliber from here on out. And I'm going to show you why with astrology. Because that new beginning is the divine mother, the divine father coming together in that fourth house. Okay. You apply what you just learned over here, Mercury retrograde, doink, in that new beginning. And you add in this benefic factor of Venus and Jupiter conjunct. That's bringing healing and love and zhuzh and pleasure and benevolence of all varieties into this whole equation. And last but not least, Saturn crystallizing everything, because that's what Saturn do. Saturn is everything tangible. Saturn is everything physical. Okay. So when you put Saturn there at the party, it's helping crystallize. It's helping solidify what actually needs to be happening in order for this revelatory fourth house psychological discovery to manifest. New moon. Fantastic, Scorpio. And your true opportunity on offer, of course, see my generic, not generic, but like my overview video, Scorpio, if you haven't already, for this Aquarius new moon in general. Because it's going to be very telling about a lot of these underlying themes, and it's going to make even more sense to you, Scorpio, reading your charts. So please do check that out. But the gift set I spoke of in that video, the result, the benefit, the main gift you have on offer is Neptunian in nature in your fifth house. So you can really experience a lot of joy through your children and their own spiritual systems at this time, Scorpio, or somehow you're linking together with them spiritually, or your own, Pisces is art. Through art, you really enjoy yourself with your kids, or even just your creations. If you're like, I don't have kids, Tanya, what are you talking about? Your creations, your artistic pursuits, Scorpio, you can have a lot of joy and a lot of really quality, I would say, results that are deeply spiritually gratifying and emotionally, gratifying, because the fifth house is a happy house of emotional experience. So I'm excited for you. You're going to feel a lot of drive to do this. You're going to be energized to communicate deeply and profoundly. Like you're already good at that because you're a Scorpio. But the Pluto there in that third house of Capricorn, you see that, Scorpio? That's really supporting you at this time and your experience of this passion for the earth, even, or for earthly material plane matters as they relate to spirituality. And, I think that's really what you're going through right now, Scorpio. There's a lot of change there in that fourth house. So don't expect everything to stay the same. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Scorpio who is basically like out there changing your lifestyle, changing your home environment at a very deeply profound level, then expect the change to be real, because that's what it will be. It will be real. You know what I'm saying? So just keep it in mind. That's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I know you did. Hit that like button, comment before you go, subscribe. That's what I really want you to do, so you can get all this stuff for free, because otherwise you'd be crazy. Okay, Scorpio, I'll put it to you like that. Great. Now, we have Pisces. Welcome, Pisces. Pisces, ascendant, sun, or moon people. This video is for you. Before we jump into it, Pisces, make sure you check out my other new moon video I did on the general overview, because we go much deeper into this specific astrology, and it will be very useful for you to learn more and to understand more at a deeper level what this is all about for you. And this is happening in your 12th house, which, is very profound as you are a Pisces. I think so many Pisces out there about to go like super Scion, like they've never gone before. Literally, it's like full Jedi mode in the house. It's like very intense. I'm going to walk you through all this, Pisces, talk about what it means. Look at this. Look at this. Your Neptune is in your sign right now, your first house, and it's the apex of this V sextile, this beautiful V sextile configuration. And again, watch that general overview I did for more information on this. But that's going to bring you into this spiritual gift set opportunity of spiritual abundance, of awakening and pleasure, and indulging in just the higher vibe opportunities that are available at this time, to be more spiritually centered and aligned, and even to engage with your elders who have passed, or just divine benevolent beings, like, who are not in the physical third dimension realm. That is what Pisces symbolizes. Pisces is all about that stuff. And so it is that stuff. It's not even all about that stuff like that. It is that stuff. So you have this gift set. Look at that aspect being made right now. Look at that V sextile. You have that going to you. That is to your Pisces. So if you are channeling somebody Pisces, if you are receiving messages from divine benevolent sources, don't question them at this time. It was made for you to experience that. It was made for you to experience at this time that energy. Okay. Now also, you have this new moon, new beginning in your 12th house, Pisces. This is crazy. This is going to be all about subconscious major revelations through dreams. I wish I was a Pisces right now. Like, honest to God, look at all the dream work y'all are going to be doing. You have this massive stellium in a dream house, the dream house, the 12th house, the subconscious. Your subconscious is going to be undeniable, Pisces. And I don't want you to be scared by that, because you have a malefic there at the party, Saturn, which is reason for some people to get like scared at first. They might be like, oh my God, Saturn is square Mars. What's that going to do to me? But guess what? In ancient astrology, the 12th house is actually the joy of Saturn. So Saturn loves being in the 12th house. So you are lucky in that. Also, Pisces, the 12th house for you is Aquarius. And so Aquarius is the best place for Saturn to be, by my standards at least. Some people will say it's Libra. I understand why. I just think it's better in Aquarius. That's just me. But needless to say, I think that like you're going to benefit very, very well. You're going to do very good, whatever the grammar is there. You're going to do great, because this is going to feel like constructive. It's almost like, I see this for you, Pisces. It's almost like your subconscious is going to do a really constructive, like, birthing project, and it's like a secret agent operation that your subconscious is in charge of and is hosting almost, right? But it's like, in the process of that going on, you're not really aware of it until it's just integrated in your everyday life in front of you, and like everything is hidden from you. But what is not hidden from you is the spiritual aspect of it, because this is your first house, Neptune. And Neptune, yes, I hear some Pisces being like, but Neptune is ephemeral and inherently illusionary. Like, it doesn't show its true colors. It's a chameleon, right? So you're like, is that really clear to me? And I'm like, yeah, Pisces, because this is your first house. So you are revealing things to yourself at a very deeply profound spiritual level. Look at this V sextile, okay? Through your subconscious work that is just happening without you having to put much effort into it. How lucky are you? You know what I mean? You don't even have to do anything, damn near. You know what you do have to do if you want to make the most of this, though, Pisces? I'm about to tell you, for all the proactive Pisceans in the house. You see this third house Mars in your chart? Check it out, Pisces. This is your communications house, okay? This is also the house of small business, because it's the house of the goddess associated with the moon, and originally in astrology, okay, in Western astrology. So anyway, that I will say to you, like, be aware that if you want to make the most of this, communicate your needs to who? To your subconscious, because the Aquarius is your subconscious. And if you're a Pisces who's a part of an internet-based spiritual community, consider speaking your needs to your online spiritual community, because Aquarius could be an online community around spiritualism if it's in the 12th house. You see what I'm saying? So you need to speak your needs, because the third house is communications, and just speak what you want to create into your subconscious. Whisper to yourself before bed. Whisper to yourself in a I see it as whispering for some reason, but you can communicate it at whatever volume seems relevant and resonates with you, Pisces. But to hold sacred space, Pisces, this Neptune in the first house V sextile with this kind of subconscious activation. Yo, this hasn't happened since the 60s, Pisces. This many of the original planets up in Aquarius. Please pay attention and use this as a spiritual ceremony for yourself. Do yourself a Pisces favor. God bless it. That's the second time I've dropped my Hedenbergite. I clearly need to be more careful. But anyway, all that to say, I want you to consider being more spiritual about this new moon experience, because all of that Neptunian zhuzh of magic and opportunity is coming into that first house. Like this portal of your subconscious is like, you are the ones receiving this gift at this time that literally don't have to do anything, except if you want to use the most of it, communicate to your subconscious and let those seeds grow. Why wouldn't you? Honestly, Pisces, why wouldn't you? Communicate what you want to grow in your soul to your subconscious by letting yourself know. Write it down and burn it. Do whatever resonates. Hold yourself a little ritual space. Meditate on it. That's a very good use of this energy. Oh my goodness. Like this video because I know it brought you value. Okay. Thanks for being here, Pisces. Everybody who's tuning in, cool. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I hope this video served you. Until next time and through next time, may the stars be with you. Peace.